Right, okay, we have start recording, so, we're all ready to go.
And it's always done recording without me.
Well, you know, I hit the record button, you should be ready, bitch.
We are not getting into this conversation, Tom.
What, why not on the podcast, which officially just started?
Hey!
Yay.
Yay.
So, you want to introduce everyone?
I'm here with Tristan.
Again, everybody.
Danny.
Hiya, guys.
Tom.
Guys, how you doing? And also...
And Carlton was supposed to be here, but he said nope.
Might show up sometime.
He's probably going to show up during the recording at some point. We don't know when, but, you know, he's going to show up at some point soon. He's just running a bit late back from work.
Yep.
So, our topics are for today. So, let's get started with our first one, which is...
Dragon Ball Z gets a new film in 2015 by the creator Toriyama.
So,
Toriyama, yes.
Yes. It was predictable because it really did really well in the Japanese box office, so...
Yes, and everyone's psyched for the American release.
Oh yeah, we're getting a limited theatrical American release. The news came about when they were talking about it. Apparently, the September issue of V-Jump magazine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, apparently they said they're going to... the creator himself, what's his name again?
Akira Toriyama.
Akira Toriyama. He personally credited with the original concept and screenplay, character designs and everything like that. He said this was originally intended, like this was originally going to be the carry-on story, but the thing is that he ended it and he had no intention of actually doing it. So how you guys feel about that? But he only did it because how well Battle of the Gods did.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
It's more like, oh, sorry, who's gonna talk first?
No, you can go ahead first.
Ladies first.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, not because Battle of the Gods did so well. It's more because people still love Dragon Ball Z, and it was still a franchise you could still continue. So he's like, oh, okay, so it's like he's scared at first he was like scared to put the idea forward because he thought that people just forgot about Dragon Ball Z and moved on to other things. But no, people still like it. Dragon Ball Z is still popular, so it's kind of like Sailor Moon Crystal. They're just continuing the franchise. So yeah, it's a good idea.
Tristan?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a good idea because I think like Dragon Ball, the franchise itself, is going to celebrate its 30th anniversary this year, and Funimation is doing the 20th anniversary for the English release. But the way I see it is that, from what I've read, is that he just didn't think that Dragon Ball Z would still be this popular to this day, which it is, and he's making the movie like how he would with the actual manga adaptation, where he would continue from there as if it was from the actual comic series. So it's going to be just like Battle of the Gods, an original concept which is in canon to the manga because he's continuing it from the actual comic that it came from. So I'm really psyched for this.
So this is basically saying that Dragon Ball GT has never happened.
It really hasn't happened.
We don't talk about GT.
GT was done with the consent of the author. He had no involvement with it whatsoever.
Well, no, actually, no, he did do the designs for like, yeah, he did. He did the Super Saiyan 4 design. He did the designs for future characters. So he was sort of involved.
But story-wise, he wasn't.
Yeah, the story wasn't. It wasn't. So for like,
I have to like it. There are a lot of things that I did like about it. Like I did like a lot the Super Saiyan 4 design, and although in general it's not as good as the Dragon Ball Z, it's not as good as Dragon Ball. Yeah. It's just nothing special.
Yeah. For purists, it's non-canon for purists. Yeah. It's like it never happened.
and the other thing
I kind of agree with them.
In the article, he says he's putting a lot of effort into the drawing, the art, but also fusing over the smallest dialogue lines. He also promised that there'll be more action scenes. He teased the story is still secret, so there's going to be nothing about it. But apparently, he also said, but it will be utterly funny. I can't wait to see it.
I'd be excited if it were like there would be like a competition, like a Tenkaichi or something like that, or maybe it's just something laid back. Like in Battle of the Gods, they don't really start fighting until much later. Like it's a lot of sort of slice of life, getting to be with the characters, have fun. So I don't know.
So
but if they're gonna see more fighting, might as well be like a Tenkaichi or something.
Yes,
yeah, so basically it's like how it was in the original Dragon Ball series, where it was basically more a slice of life and martial arts than who has the biggest power level and can blow up an entire mountain with just one finger.
And 6-episode filler of them just powering up.
Well, I think they learned that from Kai, to be honest, because they wouldn't have done Kai if that was the case.
Well, the reason they did that is because most of those power and all those dragged out 6 episodes of power up is because they're trying to prolong it because the anime was catching up to the manga.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah, so they had to draw it out.
Oh yeah, definitely. On to our next bit of news.
Anime unites the Avengers and X-Men, and the anime is Marvel Disc Wars, which basically is Marvel character Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This can either go alright or horribly wrong.
Can't be worse than Avengers versus X-Men.
Oh.
I mean, I've seen it. I think, was it Cyclops and Beast made a cameo in one of the episodes?
Very weird little concept because, I don't know, it's just like I said, it can go either horribly wrong or it can be mediocre, but Marvel does not have a good track record when it comes to their animation division, especially with the Japanese films. Like, the last one I saw was Punisher and
Black Widow,
and that wasn't good.
Wasn't that Madhouse?
Yes.
Didn't some Marvel works get adapted into an anime series? Like I think Blade got.
They did they did a partnership with G4 TV to do some anime adaptations of some of the Marvel franchises, and some of them weren't really good.
Yeah, there was 4.
The Blade one was okay, and the Wolverine one, from what I remember, was okay.
Mm-hmm. So you never know.
Yeah, because those are the only 2 that you could really see be adapted well into an anime, like X-Men and Iron Man. It's not really I don't know, I don't see it as a good viable product as being turned into an anime product, but it's going to be weird to see how it's going to see, because apparently they want to do a toy line in show sort of thing, exclusively by Walt Disney Japan.
Well, they kind of are doing that because I saw one episode. And it was a raw, and they actually kept the Japanese commercials in it. And if you watch it to the end, they're advertising toys, which are based off of Disc Wars.
Also, import prices. That is all.
Yeah. Have we got anything else to say on this?
Can't be worse than Avengers vs. X-Men.
It's not my. It doesn't really interest me, so I'm not gonna really watch it. I watched one episode, didn't really like it. So I don't know what else to say.
It's Digimon Marvel.
That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tom on this one. It can either go really well or it can either go really badly. But if I'm hearing positive reviews of it, I'll probably check it out. So, yeah.
So
next is Road to Ninja, Naruto the movie to American theaters.
Okay, this one's quite interesting because this is not the first time this has happened, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it happened before with the last series, the original Naruto series. They did do the limited release with the first, second, and third movies.
Yeah, and how did that fare in the box office? Because I'm guessing it probably did reasonably well if it was limited release for this getting released.
Yeah, it did okay for animated, an animated movie. It did okay.
Yeah.
But I've seen the translated version, and basically, if you guys don't know, it was like 2 years old.
Yeah.
It's basically it's basically a kind of like a what if story, but it's the same premise as the original author. This is an original story that he made, and it's basically a what if story where Naruto goes to an alternate reality, and stuff happens.
Okay, fair enough. So it's like when we mean a limited release, it's only getting released in 45 theaters in the United States. So this is a very small release.
Yeah, when it's limited release, it means that certain big theaters will get the actual footage of actual movie for a set amount of time, and whatever it makes is whatever it makes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, it's actually kind of good this stuff is sort of happening because it's introducing audiences into more anime, I would say, in some senses, but at the same time, it's anime that's already established quite well here in the States already.
It is, and part of the problem is that with the internet, people start watching the subs over the dubs because it takes almost a year for them to even get to that point. While originally you can just watch the subs and keep up with it week after week. I know you have to wait a couple months for the movie, but most of them stick to the subs because they don't want to wait the time to dub it.
Or unless you're watching Attack on Titan with the dub, it's a hell of a lot more better than the sub.
Or if you're watching Space Dandy, where the creator realized, hey, the American audience is just as important as the Japanese audience.
Exactly. Again, with Big Eye.
Oh yeah, Big Eye. I remember that. But yeah, so if you guys don't watch, because it's 2 years old, that they usually did. It's an okay movie. It's just another. If you follow the manga, I think it's like right before the war starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question. How much Sasuke is in it?
Sasuke, not the alternate reality Sasuke. He's not even in it. It's just basically the alternate version of Sasuke, and he's probably in it for about like 5 to 6 minutes.
Wow.
And how angsty is he?
He's not even that. He's a playboy.
Wow.
Oh, so fangirls are gonna hate this.
Basically, the premise is that everything each of the characters are in the opposite world, they aren't. So yeah, basically. And he's kind of evil. But, like, let's take Hinata. She's timid and shy, and the other one, she's not shy at all. And basically, she knows what she wants.
So being a whore.
It's Earth 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's awesome to know. So, Nick, on the next bit of news?
Pokemon trading card game now available on the European Nintendo eShop.
So, yeah, this is kind of big news here in the Europe part of it, because this hasn't been too popular, or has it been quite popular over in the States side?
Yeah, actually,
the States is still going.
Like, I didn't know that they didn't sell the trading cards in Europe. I just sort of assumed everybody had it in the world.
It's the digital version of it, and
okay.
Last time I ever played something like this was on the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the original version.
Yeah.
But in the U.S., the trading card's still going strong, and I don't really see this.
Yeah.
I don't really see this getting any steam in the U.S. because most of the card players I see, they want physical copies of the cards, not digital copies.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just gonna say this: Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game is better than Pokemon trading card game.
I will agree with you on that. And also with the Yu-Gi-Oh! It's actually a lot more easier to understand how to play the fucking game. Unlike Pokemon, it's like, you need a power card, you need a power card, you need a power card.
Yeah.
I tried to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And even I can't.
Yeah.
I suck at games that... Like, I'm probably sure that other people can play just fine, I just suck at it.
It is, because back in the day when the first card sets came out, no one knew how to play. You just collected the cards. And finally, when you figured out that you need actual energy cards to do the moves, most of your deck is filled with trainer or energy cards. You basically have 7 Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very, very bizarre little game.
I had a sparkling Charizard.
I think everyone as a kid wanted that card.
I had it.
No, it's still one of the most sought after cards now.
I still don't
Really? I sold it for $15.
Not the Shining Charizard. I had that card too. I wanted that card, but the original Charizard card. It's
I
still
know friends who still have those cards.
Yeah, it goes like I think like eBay, it goes upwards anywhere between like $100 to $200 US. So people still want that card.
I never owned that card as a kid when I used to collect the cards back in the day. But yeah, this is like a re-release of a re-release now, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Okay then, fair enough. That's a little bit of our gaming news. Nick, you have anything to add on to this?
Hold on. And it's selling for $474.99.
Is it graded in the first edition?
Yes.
Okay then.
Oh, I can imagine a lot of my mates who used to collect the game, and if they hear this, they're going to be kicking themselves, not still have that card.
Well, you gotta
Oh.
understand, most kids back then, they just threw it in like a shoebox or
That's
a card thingy, so it wouldn't be like mint, because that's like mint. Like, you know how comics have the grading system 10 through 1?
Oh yeah.
Cards are the same thing, so they look for bends, tears, and discoloration and all that. So
I found a mint edition for $4,800 with free shipping.
damn.
Yeah. So
And it's graded and everything in the package. On to the next topic. Mighty Number 9 new update reveals animation for Beck, detailed block designs, and voice acting fun.
Okay, I'm gonna start this.
Yeah.
First off, the new fundraising has nothing to do with the animation TV show. The studio doing the TV show is footing the bill and doing it all on their own. So this new Kickstarter has nothing to do with the TV show.
yeah, because I've seen some people have seemed to be bitching about this, so let's just get that out of the way first.
And I was in the I don't care camp.
That is true.
Because like I didn't really
I
care.
haven't really watched Beck.
Well, it's just like a teaser. People were just seeing what they could do with the character. It's digital, CGI, and then when they announced it, they were saying, "Are they doing another Kickstarter for the TV show when they should be putting it towards the game?" And they stated that this has nothing to do with the new the extra goals that they had in mind, which we'll get to a little bit later. But it's kiddish, but also funny, and they still don't have voice actors or anything. So in the actual teaser trailer that you can see, it's just Beck grunting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's basically just a tie-in product for the official video game. That's the thing you got to look at it as. But it looks like it can be promising.
Yeah,
Very promising.
Yeah, it can. That's why I kind of liked it. I mean, it's kind of kiddie, but then again, it's just the concepts, not the actual story. Because if you look in the actual story, because I did back the game, it's a little more Mega Man X-ish.
Yeah.
Like the story.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know why, but the trailer, it felt like it was made in Gmod a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking, because this is a new startup studio. I forgot what the studio's name is called, but they're relatively new, and this is like I think their first major thing trying to go with a new series. So I mean, I could forgive it, but I knew it was like their first time doing this.
Yeah.
It seems like every 2 months we're talking about something new about Mighty Number 9.
It's because it's backer funded, and they have to keep the people who back the game in the know-how and what do they want and what don't they want and what are they going to do with the series. It's
independent, that's the thing, and the guy who's creator of it is also, like you just said, Mega Man X and stuff like that. He's the original creator of Mega Man.
But when we get into the extra stuff, the new backer Kickstarter stuff is for the extra stuff that they couldn't do because they didn't have enough time, like for the voice actors, when people were complaining about they should have had voice acting in the original Kickstarter for the game.
Yeah.
And they're saying that voice acting is not cheap.
No.
The 4 million plus that you guys made for the game, you're getting all that stuff still. It's just for extra stuff that you want, like Japanese and English voice acting, which they need 200,000 made to get that. Yeah. I mean, the game's still gonna get made, but if it doesn't make that, you're just not gonna get voice acting.
Yeah.
I'll voice Beck for half a ham sandwich.
You voice anything for a half a ham sandwich.
I don't.
Yes.
No, I don't want Beck sounding like a redneck, please. No.
Well, it'd still be appropriate with Beck going around shooting up stuff, and basically, essentially, we were getting a redneck voicing a robot, half human.
What happens when he goes to his sword mode? He can't have a redneck sound coming out when he's dicing up enemies.
Fuck you both. Fuck you.
That's just what it is. It's just extra stuff for the game. It's just completely optional. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah. Danny, you got anything to add to this?
Not really, no. I don't know anything about it.
I think
article.
I'm just going to add my final thing onto it. It's just that I think everyone just need to calm down with this a little bit. Because voice acting is not cheap. But if you do raise the money to get the voice acting, that's amazing. It just shows you how well this little indie game from this one guy who was established already, pretty much getting his sequel to Mega Man in spiritual sense.
Yo, I want Steve Blum to be...
It is doing pretty good. I think it's been like 1 or 2 weeks, and I think he has, like, right now, it's close to 10,000 right now.
Yo, I want Steve Blum to be back.
Some of the people that I've been in the forums, some of the people want Steve Blum in the game, but I think they want him to be Mighty Number 8, which is a swordsman.
That would make sense. So yeah, that's our news on Mighty Number 9, the animation and voice
And
acting.
something on the other end of the spectrum, which is equally as awesome. Pacific Rim animated series may be animated in Japan.
So yeah, that's actually quite big news. Yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to this because I was a fan of the Pacific Rim, and we all know Armin is like he can't stop sucking Pacific Rim's huge, humongous dick. So where should we start with this?
Well, from what I read is that they're shopping season 1. They're shopping season 1 of Pacific Rim around to all the Japanese animation studios to see if they would like to animate and do what's necessary to make this anime 13 episodes a reality. So they're just shopping it around so far.
All I'm going to say, I want either Madhouse or Bones to animate.
Is that one of the people that do Gundam?
No, Madhouse did, what did Madhouse do? Madhouse did High School of the Dead, No Game, No Life. Yeah.
Just if you ever get a chance, just go look at those. They do amazing visuals. Depends on the director and the screenwriters, because sometimes it wavers from kind of like mediocre to meh, but good visuals though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bones did both FMA series, and then they went to the other end of the spectrum with Soul Eater. And they did Soul Eater not, which makes me sad. And then they are currently doing Space Dandy.
Yeah, this is the one thing I'm a little bit. This what also they said as well is that they said they want it for a long arc, and the idea is that the show of a group of characters. Basically, we have 5 pilots, fictional Jaegers, and apparently all these characters, in typical Japanese animation style, will be young characters.
They'll be teenagers because adults can't fight monsters.
That's true.
You always hire the teenagers, the young kids.
Because they're the ones that have the most potential. They're either 14 to about 17 to 18.
That's more like an adult saying that they want to save their own asses. And like, okay, let the kids do all the work while we cowardly run away.
But as long as it's not like Neon Genesis Evangelion, we're good.
Yeah, if they can get this out.
Oh yeah.
The lead up.
I'm not talking about the rebuild movies. I'm talking about the series.
That's how at least the series. You know about the infamous ending, right?
Oh, why do we have to bring this up?
Okay, guys, if you haven't known about the infamous ending, it's that they blew all their budget and they had to finish the story, and all they could do to animate was crayon. Yeah. Like crayon animation. To finish the story.
Pretty funny.
That is,
so what we're saying is, don't give it to Gainax.
I think with this as well, because there's a second Pacific Rim film coming out, if they can get this out to lead up to the second Pacific Rim film, I think that will be perfect marketing for it.
Well, if they can, most likely they will, because if you've seen anime that's like tied to movies, they usually do. If they do an anime, they usually do it as a midquel between movies and stuff like that.
Well, look at the Dark Knight. They had the Batman Chronicles, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. That would tie in between Batman Begins and the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool, I've got to say.
So it's not going to be like a prequel. It's going to be a midquel.
If they get their way, most oftentimes it would be a midquel, but we're not sure yet. Yeah,
basically filling in the gaps. I think
maybe see how they develop the Jaegers, everything.
Yeah, and apparently they want cameos from the characters from the first film as well. So if they can do that, it'd be cool if they can get the actual actors back to reprise their roles.
Or maybe have them as visual cameos. You never know. Kind of like in how Animatrix they had like a cameo of Trinity and Neo.
I just don't want them saying we need Godzilla in this. I'm like, no, you don't need Godzilla in this, especially not the new American one, because if you've seen some parodies of it, Godzilla towers over all the Jaegers, so they wouldn't even be a match for Godzilla.
That is
also, Godzilla 2014, no Godzilla and Godzilla.
There's very little of it. When he did come out, it was awesome. Like He was just awesome.
So yeah.
When we finally got to see him.
On to the next piece of news.
Yes, go right ahead, Nick.
One Piece could go on for another 10 years.
Boo.
Yes, I've seen this, and it's just what it is that at first he wanted to end it like in 5 years, but then he got like a second wind and said, I'm having too much fun, so I'm going to keep going, and I could do this for 10 more years.
One Piece is going to be the next SpongeBob.
He's making a lot of money.
Yeah, he's been a greedy motherfucker.
He's making a lot of money.
The problem is that they just don't know when to stop. This is why usually we get like a new season to something that doesn't need a season. Like, for example, Heroes didn't need another season 2 or season 3, but they did it because it made money or something.
Yeah. Hero season 5 was awesome. The bad guys were carnies.
It makes money, and if you check the rating system, I think like One Piece is in the top 3 every single week. Even though I don't watch the filler, I just watch what comes in canon because filler's just filler, and sometimes the filler arcs just plain suck.
Yeah, one of the big major problems with One Piece I find most ridiculously is that it's interesting at first, but like Tristan said, it just has way too much filler and stuff like that. And also, if they go for another 10 years, how far are they're gonna go until Nami boobs basically take out the whole entire ship?
Well, basically, I think was like 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, when it went on hiatus, it said that they basically, after 10 to 11 years, they basically made it to the halfway point. Yeah.
It's the next SpongeBob.
Yeah.
It's the SpongeBob of the manga universe.
Yeah. I think the other thing, which I think when it comes to One Piece as well, again, we said this about Dragon Ball Z earlier in the podcast, is that it went away for a while. People missed it. I think it's what One Piece needs to do. That it either needs to end soon, or it needs to go on hiatus, and when people start missing it, they bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
For a show like this, you can't keep going with it. It's just like over 700 episodes now, and probably about
it's way too many.
Over
That's a lot.
more than 50% of the episodes are filler.
Yeah, because I think the actual comic manga is barely reaching 800 chapters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the anime is close behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's having a problem trying to the written material is basically carrying a hard time keeping ahead of the animation, and it's
it is.
But yeah, One Piece can go fuck itself.
It's good in spurts, especially if you just cut out the filler and just go for the major arcs. It's really good, but if you're gonna try and marathon it, just give up. You're gonna get burned out, I think, by the first filler because it really doesn't have anything to do with that actual over plot of what the first arc is about.
Yeah, and also,
and I'm just gonna say this to get everyone mad at me: Bleach is better than Naruto and One Piece.
Okay, fair enough.
And it.
Wait, Bleach is better than Naruto and One Piece?
Yep.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
I liked Bleach better when it was called Yu Yu Hakusho. Sorry, I stole that joke from Little Kareem. So sorry.
Damn.
Wow.
Yes, that's mean.
We are definitely. I think we're definitely going to get people talking about this episode. No. That's going to be the title. That's going to be the title for the episode.
Yeah, shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
So yeah, I think.
And
should we mention about Big Hero 6?
Yeah, it's last piece of news.
Yeah.
Big Hero 6 is happening.
Well, I have a lot to say about this, but I'm just gonna summarize my thoughts.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This is the film I'm most excited about, even more than How to Train Your Dragon 2, although that's like the second most excited animated film I was. And I saw it today, it was awesome with Tom. I thought it was really good. And I'm excited about it because not only is it, number one, I'm a Disney fan, number two, I'm an animation fan, number three, it's a superhero movie, and number four, it's mixed race cast. I'm very nuts about it because like Hiro Hamada, he's gonna be like the first white Asian character, pretty much the first, not just in animation, but in any film. Like I'm pretty sure there are other mixed race protagonists, but it's pretty rare. And he's also gonna be pretty much the first Asian lead in any mainstream film that's not related to martial arts to ever come out of Hollywood. That's an accomplishment, and he has a good design as well. And let's see, I like Honey Lemon's design. I'm a little bit worried that she looks a lot like Rapunzel. Say what you want about Anna and Elsa, Honey Lemon's like a freaking twin, but I guess I'm a little bit less worried since I like her glasses and her hair back when she's not in her. I imagine a lot of girls cosplaying as Honey Lemon, although I would cosplay as Honey Lemon, although I would also cosplay as Gogo Tamago. And also like the fact that Honey Lemon can look pink and girly, and she can also like science. Like that's pretty awesome. And let's see, Gogo Tamago, I like her design. She's very pretty. She's very Asian, and I like her leather jacket. The fingerless gloves, I go nuts for fingerless gloves. And Wasabi no, sorry, I'm just keep on going. I'm just gonna summarize it. Fred is a fanboy. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Wasabi no Ginger, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was Asian in the original comic. But
you are correct.
Well, yeah, he's a black guy, which is pretty cool. And he's got these like plasma blades, which makes sense because he's a sushi chef. So yeah,
and he's voiced by Marlon Wayne Jr.
Okay.
Yeah. For anyone,
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And for anyone wondering what Danny just meant there by the comic counterpart, basically it's inspired by the Marvel comic superhero team of the same name.
So like it's loosely based, or it's not, or they're gonna change it, or they're gonna.
You could say it's an adaptation because you're taking some elements from the comic.
This is actually kind of a big deal because Disney brought Marvel back quite a while, back a couple of years ago now, and this is like the first product they probably went into the Marvel library and wanted to make a film out of. You guys got anything to say about the trailer?
It looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. I mean, I'm optimistic about it. I'm just want to see some more information. Other than that, I probably would pick up the actual comic if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the villain. I like the little robots, the inflatable robots. It looks like a cool movie. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Nick?
That part was kind of funny.
Nick, you got anything to say about this? You've been quite quiet.
I trust Disney.
You trust Disney. It's, like I said, I think it looks cool. Danny probably summed it up in quite a long-winded, non-stop breath.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. It's done quite well.
You guys
it's been directed by Don Hill and Chris Williams. So for those, he co-directed Bolt.
Oh, okay.
He's done Bolt and.
Wait, so is Miley Cyrus going to be in it?
I will say that even though she's she's an okay actress, she was very miscast because she had a very older voice and she was supposed to be playing a 12-year-old. Didn't sound right.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, the co-director of this, Chris Williams, he was the story artist and the voice of Oken from Frozen.
Yay!
Okay.
We wait until when the film comes out, and also for a little update on that, when this film does come out, we are going to be reviewing it on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all it for our topic news. So Nick, do you want to lead us into our little side thing we are going to do in this podcast?
So this week is part of the whatever we decide to do. We all sat down and watched the Ghost in the Shell movie. The original that came out back in the 90s.
1995 it came back out in, and it was, I haven't watched this film in years. Very good.
It had a few of the problems with 90s dubbing and stuff.
It
but
feels very wooden.
Yeah, because it was the 90s.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for it because, I tried understanding it all over again, but I still just goes over my head.
This is actually more a film I like talking about more than watching it. And in terms of its philosophies, it's really fascinating. I love anything related to sci-fi, like Blade Runner and stuff.
Yeah.
But the characters and stories, you rarely hear people talk about it. I guess Matrix, which was partly inspired by Ghost in the Shell, it had a similar problem, except people could talk about the action scenes and everything. And with Ghost in the Shell, it's more about I think it's a little bit too focused on the philosophies and not enough on the characters. I mean, they did focus on the characters, but I don't know.
I think the narration is all about the nature of the sex, gender identity, and self-identity of the world of the future. Basically, people are lost within it. You know what I mean? Basically, you can't judge between if you're human or you're more organic or more machine or you're part of the network. It's kind of an interesting little message. Especially, some people came out in 1995. I think this relates more now to us in modern times than it did back then.
Yeah. That's why I love talking about it, because it relates to sort of our digital age of communication, and I think it's really fascinating.
I mean, I understand it. It's just that I wanted them to focus on the characters more than the philosophy, because I get it that, you don't know if you're fully machine or fully human, and, all of that. I wanted them to focus on the characters. That's why I didn't really care about it that much at all. Because I have watched the movie and I watched this TV series when it came out. Yeah,
the open sequence to it, when they talk about Section 9 and stuff like that, I got a very Final Fantasy VII vibe from it. You know what I mean? I know Final Fantasy VII came out after it, but that's what it felt like to me.
I've never played Final Fantasy VII, so I don't know.
In what aspect of Final Fantasy?
I don't know. It's like the whole, in different sections and different shells of this whole entire city. Basically. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I get it now. I mean, everything's cut off in sectors. Middle class, low class, slums.
Yes.
All that.
Basically, everything is organised by a order of chain commands. You know what I mean? In that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and there was an update for this film, which was called Ghost in the Shell 2.0, when they updated the new audio, updated 3D camera monitors on that. But we only were talking about the original version that came out in 1995. I just want to make that really clear as well. And like you said, this film did influence the Wachowskis to make The Matrix as well, so that speaks volumes on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this film also influenced the Wachowskis to make The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
That was done by money.
I didn't bother with the Matrix sequels. I just saw the first one.
No, you should have saw the game. I played the game that accumulates all three movies, and then they come on as pixels at the end saying, "Hey,
that was clever.
Since we're in a game, it said, hey, we're in a game, but we're gonna do something we want to do in the movie we couldn't do, which is just a giant battle between Neo and a whole bunch of Mr. Smiths in a giant monster battle."
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Go and look it up when we're done with it.
Basically, it goes to it's almost over, and then they come on as pixels, and it says, we're going to do something we couldn't do in the movies, and it's the giant monster battle with a whole bunch of, Smiths against you as Neo, and you're flying through the air and just doing battle.
Yeah. But with Ghost in the Shell as well, I thought the music and sound for it was very atmospheric. It really drags you into the world and grabs your attention.
Yeah, it's kind of like chance. I don't know how to explain it.
If I've got a Blade Runner vibe from it, because the Blade Runner music was very enticing, drag you into the world.
I loved Blade Runner.
That's my favourite film of all time.
Yes, it was good.
I thought it was Blues Brothers.
No, it's Blade Runner and then Blues. Blues Brothers is in my top 5 anyway.
Okay.
But we're getting a little bit off topic here. This film did well enough. It's critically acclaimed. I can understand why. It's a very well done made film, and it went on to do a TV show as well.
It did.
Yeah.
From what I heard, from what I heard, they focus more on the characters, I guess, or they say I don't know. I guess it depends on the person.
Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is pretty good.
Yeah.
Back on the Ghost in the Shell, the first time I saw it, I kind of gave up on it because it was really slow. And then when I watched it again, I was like, it's slow. But then I rewatched it, and it felt both slow and quick at the same time. And because in terms of the narrative, the story with the Puppet Master was established and then resolved almost too quickly and kind of anticlimactically. And most of the scenes focused on giving out exposition and Kusanagi having discussions with others and her consciousness, identity, much more than advancing the plot. It feels like the plot is put on hold for characters to talk about philosophical issues, and it makes the film feel slower than it really is. I don't.
They had that problem, I noticed, in the sequence. It's after when they're chasing the guy through the markets and stuff like that, and they're sitting on the boat and they're talking about is it right for everyone's being assimilated into one giant network and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of philosophical situation. It does make you think about stuff that you wouldn't normally think about, which is good, I've got to say.
So basically, you're saying the singularity.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. It's like the Borg. It's like the Borg or the Cybermen for Doctor Who or Star Trek sort of thing. It's basically as we as human race became one giant collective, like a hive.
Basically, a hive mind, and then there's, other people saying that you don't need that because you lose your sense of, self.
Yeah.
That you're not just one person anymore.
Yeah. Again, it's basically about finding your identity of oneself, and I think this is the main message about the film.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, I can sort of, again, you can argue that Kusanagi's arc was sort of interrelated with the Puppet Master, and even though it was much more focused on the philosophical issues, I guess they did sort of relate it to the story.
Yeah. Nick?
I will say this. I watched it right before recording this. I barely remember anything about the story. I just remember the philosophical stuff.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised.
The story's very hit and miss. It's very hard to follow. I think it's one of these films, unfortunately, you need to watch more than once.
But even though I was really fascinated with the philosophical stuff, I just stopped the movie the first time because I just wasn't really interested in the what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's bad, it's just that it fails in that respect. In terms of bringing you into that world, like in Blade Runner or The Matrix, it does really suck you into this world. With the animation, it's freaking great. It's just that, in terms of the story, it's just,
Yeah. And again, as well, one of the big criticisms of this thing is the whole sex and nudity stuff like that. So, Tristan, what do you think?
I think it makes sense.
Yeah. It's okay. I had to watch it the second time to actually get the gist of it, because the first time, I was only a kid when this came out, so it got me interested, because the first time I saw this was on a Dragon Ball Z VHS tape I rented from Blockbuster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing Ghost in the Shell, back when they had that. But, and then I just watched the TV show from on Toonami when they had it on, Saturday nights. It's just how Nick said, you can get the gist from the philosophical reasons, but from the story arcs, from the characters, it's really hit or miss, because sometimes it just goes over your head and then you forget what the actual story arc is about, other than the philosophical reason.
I think that's why Standalone Complex is probably better on that end.
Yeah, I'm probably going to check that out.
Yeah. But Danny, you said something about the nudity and stuff like that, because that was the big thing that was about this. So you being a female, how do you feel about the woman body being subjected to nudity in this film?
I don't know if I'm kind of mixed on it, when it really depends on the film, and I think in this film it really makes sense, because often when you talk about a robot and you talk about whether it's human or not, it feels like it doesn't feel like an actual person. It feels less human, but strangely enough, when you make him into a woman, I guess it's a little bit, I don't know why, but somehow it's a little more humanized. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a lot of gender theory that.
I can see where you're going at, because, like I said, I'm just doing a little off topic a little bit, because if you want to get that kind of feeling, then you would want to watch, I guess you could say, a tech demo of, I think it was called Kira, where it's kind of like that, where they make an artificial intelligence where she acts and reacts like a human girl, and she wants to be real, or as real as she could be, but they say she's defective because the line of AI is not supposed to feel like a human. They're supposed to take orders, get orders, and that's what you're supposed to be. But she actually has feeling, and once they said that she's defective, they have to dismantle her, and she starts to cry like a real person. And one of the scientists says, "Okay, go into the line, but don't act out."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
don't want to be sexist or anything, but I guess when it comes to making Kusanagi into a woman, I guess it makes her feel a little bit more human, a little bit more, like, I don't know, she gets to, like, think about her body a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that the main character is a woman in the sense, basically, because the whole aspect of basically life as a human being basically starts from a woman sort of thing, giving birth sort of thing. I think that's the kind of interesting scene, because this film does include section gender identity into this thing in a technological advanced world. It's a very interesting concept, but again, the story is very forgetful. I mean, it did well enough to get a TV show and also a sequel film, Ghost in the Shell 2. So, yeah, I think overall it was a good film.
Yeah, I think it's good. Even though I have issues with it, I really like talking about it. So yeah, it's a good film.
It's a good film, but you're probably gonna have to watch it 2 or 3 times to actually get the gist of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do that again because honestly, I barely remember anything about it.
So yeah.
It's a little bit hard to get through, but especially because even though the animation is great, some of the scenes are like really slow, almost little to no movement. Like there's this scene in an elevator, and it's just, and there's, I don't know, it can be really distracting. But when they are dedicated to the visuals and the action, it really delivers. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Overall, good film recommendation for everyone who haven't watched it. Go and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering how they edited it to put it on Toonami.
That is a good question. Very, very good question.
Just put censor bars?
They have done that before.
That is true. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the podcast. So unless anyone else got any news, I think we're pretty much done here.
Attack on Titan sucks.
Exactly. Dub's better than sub.
No, I'm done.
In the comment section, there were people who really liked it and everything. So.
Yeah. All right then.
It's your personal taste. That's what it is.
And my personal taste is it sucks.
Okay, we get it, man. We get it. No.
As always, I'm your host Nick. I'm here with Tom.
Yo. See you guys later.
Danny.
Hope you had fun.
And Tristan.
Yeah, guys.
Dub is better than sub. See you later.
Whatever.
See ya. Bye-bye.